I'm not going to lie. Some days, the weight of it nearly floors me. It's not just exhaustion, it's that ache behind my eyes, that feeling in my chest. It's heavy. Like you're carrying 3 backpacks, but no one can see them. No one ever asks about them. Not even the people closest to you. I didn't know what was happening at first. Couldn't put a name to it. Didn't even know there was a name. All I knew was I was tired. Deep, marrow-level tired, and I could never explain it. I'd look around at everyone else, bright-eyed, just coasting. They'd push through 12-hour days, then go out. And me, I'd crash, hard, sit in my car after work with both hands gripping the wheel, just breathing, just trying to will myself home. But there was always more work waiting, the stuff nobody talked about. No checklist for it, no job description, invisible things. The constant watching, sensing who needed what, being the go-to when everything broke, but not the one getting credit. I was the person who set up the whole meeting, mapped out the project, fixed the drama before it exploded. No one thanked me, unless something went wrong. Then they knew my name. It started way before work, though, family dinners where I would smooth over the arguments, or school where I'd take the lead, fix the group project, pick up the slack. People just expected it, expected me. It was like I was invisible, except when they needed something only I could give. Like I had this secret superpower everyone could tap into, but only when it served them. There's something about that, being the person people lean on. Sure, it feels good for a while, like maybe this makes me worthwhile. Maybe it means I belong. So I kept doing it, over and over, even when I was running on fumes. But the truth? That kind of labor, the stuff nobody sees, is lonely as hell. You start thinking you're crazy or broken. Why am I so tired when no one else is? Why do I have to shoulder this alone? There was a week there, God, I still feel it, where it all just fell apart. Deadline after deadline, people dropping balls left and right, and suddenly it's just, can you handle this? You're so good at this. You just get things done. That week, I stopped sleeping. Would wake up at 3, heart pounding, already behind, couldn't eat, couldn't laugh. It all started unraveling. I'd stare at the ceiling and think, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just handle it like everyone else? But at the same time, I'd look around and it's like, no one else even saw what needed to be done. They didn't hear what wasn't being said. They didn't notice the tension creeping into rooms, or the way everything threatened to fall apart if just one invisible thread snapped. I remember the breaking point. Tuesday morning, the meeting started at 9, but my alarm went off at 6 and I never moved. Couldn't make my body obey. I just lay there, blank, numb, and then angry. So angry. Not even tears. Just this burn in my chest. Because it finally hit me, I wasn't bad at being a person. I wasn't weak. I was just doing all the work no one else even saw. And I'd been doing it for years. The world is built for people who get energy in steady streams, who keep showing up, who live for routines. I work in bursts. Energy comes like lightning. Start something, break ground, light everyone up. When it's gone, it's gone. But the work doesn't stop. The demands don't stop. People started calling me intense, or selfish if I pulled away, unreliable when I couldn't push through. But every time I said yes, took on the invisible load, I disappeared a little more. I wanted someone, just one person, to notice, to see all the fires I'd put out, the hours spent holding the line quietly without complaint. No gold stars, no one ever said, "Thank you for seeing what's coming before it hits." It was just expected. I got sick, eventually, burned out for real. The kind doctors can't fix. My body just shut down, couldn't move, couldn't think. All that labor, all those years crashing down like a wave over my life. One day I just stopped. Cold. Couldn't go on. Didn't even want to. That's when it started changing. The realization wasn't loud, it was slow, quiet, like fog burning off in the sun. I wasn't broken, I was conditioned. I'd been trained to fill every gap, erase every problem, absorb every blow, trained to do all the invisible work so others could glide. But at what cost? My health, my dreams, my spark. I remember sitting on my balcony, legs tucked up, looking out at a city that never slows down. I had nothing left to give. I thought, if no one else can see this work, why am I killing myself for it? Who am I if I just stop? I started small, saying no, pulling back, letting things break, watching people fumble, panic, blame, then, for once, figure it out without me. The world didn't end. No one died. Life carried on. And that opening, right there, was freedom. The realization hit deeper. I don't need to hold the whole world together. I'm allowed to rest. I'm allowed to be seen, even if it means letting go of being the hero, the fixer, the strong one. Some people didn't like it. You've changed. You're not as available. Or the ever classic, why can't you just... And I'd stop them, because I'm not the glue, not anymore. I can't do the unseen work while pretending it doesn't cost me. It wasn't about rebellion, it was about survival. Choosing myself after years of being chosen last, even by me. The more I drew those lines, the more I listened for that inner spark, the urge to create, to start, to build. I realized that's the real gift. That's what I'm here for. Not endless service, not invisible labor that slowly erases me. Now I protect my energy like it's treasure. I still give, but only when that fire rises up. I show up huge, but on my own timing. I say no more than I say yes. I rest as hard as I work. Some days I do nothing at all, and that's enough. It's not perfect. Some days the old guilt creeps in. That voice whispers, lazy, cold, uncaring. But I don't listen like I used to. I see those voices for what they are. Old fears, old wounds. I give myself space. I let the world carry its own weight sometimes. The hardest part is letting go of the need to be seen as irreplaceable, letting people find their own way, letting things fall apart and realizing I'm still enough, even if all I do is breathe. Sometimes that's all I have. And sometimes that's everything. And honestly, I'm still learning, still catching myself when I reach for invisible burdens, still practicing the art of resting, still wanting, sometimes ached for, someone to really see how hard this is. To say, I know it's heavy. I see how much you do. But maybe the lesson is this: the only person who has to see that is me. So here's what I'd tell anyone who feels the way I did. You're not lazy, you're not broken, you're not alone. The work you do, the work no one sees, the labor that goes unthanked, it matters. But you matter more. Protect your spark. Guard your rest like gold. Trust that you are valuable even when you put everything down. Let others carry their share. Let the invisible see the light. And if the world calls you different or too much or hard to read, smile. You know your story. You know how heavy it's been. And finally, you can set it down.